Hi guys, Jody here. I thought I would start documenting my journey at the moment. So, for a few reasons. One, it's to me a good distraction, gives me something to do. I can inform you all, I can inform others if anybody wants to watch, it might be helpful for them. Also, something for me to be able to look back on down the track and kind of remember what happened and how it happened and things like that. So, I'm just wondering where I start. Okay, some of you may know back in February this year, I had the gastric sleeve weight loss surgery done. Since then, I've lost probably over 25 kilos. So that's in about 3 months. Now, I had started to feel a bit tired, a bit run down, and I just took that as me having low iron and obviously not eating as much as you normally would. So I just let that slide. I did have blood tests, everything come back okay. Did say that my iron was a little bit low, but not too bad, not too concerning. So I just kept plodding along, and about 2 weeks ago, I started getting some cramps, some abdominal pain. Now, I just thought this was related to my weight loss surgery. I'd get some sharp pains, it would dull down, then it would come back. I thought maybe I was getting a tummy bug or something like that. I didn't really, every time I ate something, I felt a bit sick, but to me, it all came back to my weight loss surgery, so I wasn't too concerned. Anyway, the 20th of May, I woke up just like any normal day. It's a Saturday. I was getting ready to take my son to football. Went to the bathroom, and here starts the gross part. There was a lot of blood in my stool, and it's not just a small, tiny amount of blood. Red blood. It wasn't like that at all. I was pretty concerned. I knew it wasn't good. It was dark, thick blood, and definitely not normal. Anyway, I messaged my mum, like you do, and she's like, go to the doctors, go to the doctors. So I thought, all right, I'm going to take myself to the hospital because it's about 7:30 in the morning, and my husband will take the kids to football. So I've gone to the hospital, and pretty much I went into triage, told them my symptoms, and they admitted me immediately. They didn't say anything at that stage, but I was teary and I'm very emotional all morning. I just knew from the moment that I went to the toilet something was really, really wrong, and was extremely emotional going into the triage, sitting in the waiting room, and when they took me into the emergency rooms. So they've taken me into like the emergency ward and into a bed. They've come and they've obviously done the OBS, the checking all your vitals. They done a blood test. The nurses obviously came, and the doctor asking questions. And they advised me that they've contacted my surgeon who done my weight loss surgery over at the private hospital, and that he was going to come over and see me, because still at that stage we thought it could have been connected to that surgery. Then they told me I need to do urine and stool sample, which is gross, but I had to do it, and just waited there for the doctor. That whole time I was just very emotional, and the nurses are asking me, are you okay? Are you in pain? I'm like, I'm not in pain right now. I'm just very nervous. I just had that feeling, like I just knew it was wrong. I didn't go crazy, Googling or anything like that. I did have a little Google, but I just knew something was not right. Anyway, my doctor come over, and he felt around my stomach, and on the right side of my abdomen, it was really tender when he touched it and was pushing down into it. And he then told me that he can feel a mass. He said he doesn't feel that it's related to the weight loss surgery at all. There's just a mass in there, and that he wants to send me to go get a CT scan. So that's what happened. So off the doctor went. He had to go and do what he had to do. I waited there until I had to go get my CT scan. And they advised me after that scan that I'll be moving up into the surgical wards. So, of course, straight away I went, surgery wards? I'm going to have surgery? So I knew I was going to be there. The doctor said, you won't be going home today. He said, you're going to be in here for a couple of days. So call your family, let them know, make them aware that you're going to have some tests done and that you're going to be in here for a few days at least over the weekend. Okay. So that's what I done. Made them aware. Just waited for my CT scan. Off I went. Wheeled me in a little wheelchair. After I had to drink the nasty drink that you have to drink, that fluoro drink. And then CT scan time. So on the table, and it was the first time I've had a CT scan where they have to put the IV fluid stuff into you, so it you can see it go through your veins. So I did that. That was a really weird sensation. It's like you just got hot, felt like you were peeing your pants. Didn't, but that's what it feels like. You get a weird taste, metallic type taste in your mouth. Anyway, that was done. Then they wheeled me over to the surgical wards. So I hadn't eaten all day, which was very lucky. I was still nil by mouth, couldn't eat, couldn't drink anything, just connected to the drip. I could drink. I was chewing on some ice chips just to help. So I wasn't dehydrating. And then that was it. I just had to wait. I had to wait for the CT scans. I had my surgeon, Dr. Zarok, I had his register come in and talk to me about the results. He says, so we've looked at your CT scan results. We can see a really nasty mass. Now, we're not sure where it's connected to. We can't see your appendix. So it could be covering your appendix. We feel like it could be attached to your bowel. At this stage, we don't know what it is. We have to do surgery. We have to get in there to find out what it is and what's happening. Now, he told me best case scenario was just going in there, keyhole surgery, having a look. If it's just the pus, then they can suck it out very easily. If it's a bigger mass and connected to parts of the body and organs, that they're going to have to cut a large incision or cut down my stomach, my whole abdomen, to get in there and remove anything. And worst case scenario is if this mass is severely connected to the bowels, that I would have to have a bag connected to the outside of my body, which will work as my bowel. So that was worst case scenario. So I knew then something's in there. It's not supposed to be there, but the surgeon's saying within the hour I'm going to be on the operating table because it looks nasty and they want to get in there and get it out immediately. So I was really thankful that it happened so fast. I didn't feel nervous. I think I'd let all that out in the morning when I was in the hospital, because once I was in the surgical ward and once I knew what was happening, I was fine and I can deal with it. So off I went down to surgery. I get out of surgery. My husband's there and he says, "Have they told you?" And I'm like, "Told me what?" Still trying to wake up at this time, coming out of recovery. And he says, "You have bowel cancer." I was like, "Oh, okay." That was literally my reaction. "Oh, okay. What did they say?" So I'm then told that I have bowel cancer, that the surgeon had to cut out part of my bowel. So I think it was called the septum, possibly, where the large bowel is connecting to the small bowel. They had to cut that out. The mass had also taken over my appendix, so they cut my appendix out. It had started to, the mass, the cancer, had started to connect to my uterus and I believe it was my liver. So what I was told is there's layers between the organs, and the cancer had started to get into those layers, but not enough to actually get into those organs. So they've sliced off and cleaned up the side of the uterus and the liver to ensure that the tumour's cut off that and can't get into it. So here I am in the hospital with this massive incision down my stomach, staples all the way down, drains hanging out of me. I had like the bandage that went over the large incision had like this vacuum seal bandage on it. So every now and then you hear noise. It's ensuring that the Band-Aid was suctioned. And I was very, very sore, very sore.